Hey everyone, this is Tyler, founder of Cage and Aquarium Productions, and I'm going to walk you through our new wedding music survey so you can answer all the questions thoroughly and in a way that best suits your event. This survey is due 1 month prior to the wedding, and that is a pretty firm deadline. We really do like to get all the music choices in by then because we do actually have a lot of places for that information to go in our process, and that getting it done a month in advance ensures that it's off your plate, but it also ensures that we have all the information we need so we can funnel it in the right directions, get it to the DJ, get it to other vendors, get it to our backup system, all that good stuff. So we do appreciate you getting this done a month in advance. If you have any questions about anything on this video or anything on the form, you can always hit us up directly and we will happily answer those. So as you're going through the form, you'll notice that the event ID is the first question. That should be in the email that we sent you. This allows us to link all of your answers to documents that we will kind of automate once the process gets going. So it's real simple. You just copy and paste your event ID in there. The next portion of the planning form is about ceremony. If you didn't contract us for ceremony, you can just skip right ahead to the cocktail hour portion of the form. And that actually applies for anything on the form. If there's something on the form that isn't applicable to your event, then by all means, you just skip it. Every one of these questions, except for the very last one, is not required. But we definitely want, within the month, to have all the song choices decided upon. And just so you know, the studio is always willing to help make suggestions. We can get you from point A to point B in terms of first dance and all those good kind of harder questions that come through the process. So if you have struggles with this, please lean on us. We are happy to help. The ceremony component, if you look here, let me just actually take this off. If you hit add an option, you'll see singing, instrumental, or DJ. Depending on which city you're in, Cage and Aquarium may or may not offer live music. So if it is live music, you'll pick singing or instrumental. And if it's DJ, you would pick DJ. If you are having ceremony music through another agency or maybe a family member or something like that, then again, you can skip all of this because it's not information that's relative to what we need in order to execute the event. Once you get here, you'll notice the pre-ceremony song request. That's really for the part of the ceremony as people are arriving. So if you have specifics about that, let us know. This is where we get into the nitty-gritty of ceremony. If you click add an option, maybe you do have some live music for this event, but for the purpose of this form, we'll go ahead and keep hitting DJ. So it's just telling us the type of music that you have contracted with Cage and Aquarium. The prelude is really kind of the few moments before the ceremony actually begins. And so usually that's kind of as the ushers are walking the last few people down. Sometimes family members come through at that time. The processional is oftentimes the bridal party. So this is the song that you would want played for a prelude. A lot of people skip this, just so you know. They don't have an opinion one way or the other. They just want the vibe to be consistent with the seating music. But the processional, a lot of times people will have a very specific song picked for when the bridal party comes down the aisle. So you type in the song, you would let us know the song, the artist, the specific version that you would want. The bridal entrance is pretty obvious. It's for when the bride comes down the aisle. If this is a same-sex wedding, then obviously there may not be a bride. We might have two brides, we might have two grooms, we might have a bride and a groom. So whatever works for you, you can certainly make a note in here how you would like sort of the music to be separated out during the up and down the aisle portion of the ceremony. The recessional is kind of the fun part of the ceremony. It's really where we can get a little more upbeat. So a lot of people will pick DJ for that. Even if they have live music, they might want something a little, more upbeat for that particular portion of the event. Again, it's completely up to you and what you've contracted, but you'd want to put the song down here. And again, feel free to take that opportunity to kind of make it upbeat and transition people from the ceremony into the cocktail hour. Completely up to you which song you would pick, but this is a good opportunity to kind of think outside the box, and we see a lot of couples do some pretty fun stuff here, so feel free to do that. Ceremony special song, this is kind of if you have unity candles or anything of that nature throughout the ceremony that you would like another song played, and we're happy to do that, just indicated here. Ceremony music notes. This is just if we have any additional notes that are going to really help us understand where things are supposed to go and how they're supposed to go, when to switch songs, if there's anything specific you're looking for. Some people will say we really want you to fade out at 1 minute and 36 seconds or something of that nature. So if you have that specific of notes, please let us know here. Will there be any readings? You can just tell us yes or no. Very simple. Describe the readings. This is just so the DJ understands exactly what's going down during the ceremony. And then now we're into cocktail hour. And this is pretty easy to fill out. You just add an option. Are you doing DJ or live music? Again, this is all for Cajun Aquarium. If you've contracted live music through another agency, you can skip the cocktail hour portion as well. But really just putting in songs, artists, maybe even genres into this field here. 4 to 6 is a good number. You can definitely put more, but definitely give us a little bit of guidance on what you would want, what kind of vibe you're looking for cocktail hour, and we will build a playlist based on that if you did, again, contract cocktail hour services with us. Dinner is a little bit more specific. There's several other things that go on during dinner, so it takes a little bit longer to fill out the dinner portion, but it's very similar. You've got basically, you can click DJ for the DJ, the type of music that you'll have, and then the specific songs would go here. You've got the grand introduction. A lot of couples do this, and a lot of couples don't. So it's completely up to you. If you do want to be introduced into the room, you can say you want DJ music, and for the grand introduction, you might want couple only, you might want wedding party and couple, or you might not want it at all. If you don't want it at all, then you skip the questions that are related to the grand introduction. But let's say you choose yes, couple only. Then you would just let us know how you would actually skip this part, because this part is really for the wedding party. You give us phonetic spellings, though, if you do want this. So, for example, we put Paul Tiago. And that way, if we have like 8 people in the wedding party and 3 of their names are hard to pronounce, the DJ has a jump on that. We'll certainly check that at the event, but it's good to know ahead of time. And we do script out all of our intro scripts. We actually put it into a document for the DJ, and because of that, this field really helps us put that in a nice, visible way so that they can make those introductions without any interference. And then this is kind of how you guys would like to be addressed. So, for example, Mr. and Mrs., or first names only, maybe just by last name. It's completely up to you. So there's some suggestions here, and this is specifically how we would bring you into the room. It's a pretty fun moment, so feel free to have some fun with that. The grand introduction song, very simple. For you guys, for the couple, you would fill this out based on the song that you want specifically. And then for the wedding party, this is their song. Some people have the same song for both, and that's totally appropriate. So feel free to just pick one song if you want. Is someone giving a dinner blessing? This is traditionally right after the introductions, so that's why we put it here on the planning form. And this just allows us to make sure that we have everybody's attention when the person is giving the blessing, kind of right after the introductions, or wherever this falls into the schedule. It doesn't have to be right after introductions. Just a side note about scheduling, we do have a separate schedule that you will submit to us. Either you will create it, you can work with us on a template, but a lot of people have day of coordinators or venue managers, maybe even catering captains, and then of course full service wedding planners who will put together schedules that kind of have all the moving pieces involved, and we like to work from the same piece of paper as everybody else. So we don't really make our own schedule unless there's no schedule at all, and then by all means, we are happy to help you make a schedule through the event. We've been a part of a lot of weddings and can definitely help you do that. But so with toasts, kind of the same thing with blessings. We just want to make sure that wherever they are in the schedule, that we're able to get people's attention, that we're able to say names correctly, and really important, we're able to kind of prep them for their toast. Let them know, hey, it's a 5-minute countdown or something of that nature. And then dinner notes, anything else we would need to know. A lot of times people will put in here just little things about the dinner that might be relevant to the DJ's success. First dance, mother, son, and father, daughter. We definitely want these entered a month before, and it's really tempting to procrastinate these decisions. It's especially tempting if we have family members involved and kind of interjecting opinions, which especially if they're specifically dancing to those songs. A lot of times they'll, want to have some say in it. But we really ask and advocate that our couples and that our families and that our planners and everybody that we work with get this information in at the month mark. Because let's face it, in the next 30 days, nobody's going to write the perfect song and record it. So the song's already out there. It's just a matter of going ahead and checking it off the box. And getting this information a month ahead of time really does set us up for success. Anything past that, and it's just outside of protocol, and although we can pull it off, it almost always creates a little bit of drama in terms of getting your schedule across the finish line and getting it into the hands of the people who need it. So please make sure that you have these songs selected. And just so you know, the studio is happy to help. Happy to help. So no to be determines here. Let's get them selected. And while they're getting selected, if you are running into problems, or if you do have questions, or if it's down to 3 songs and you want some opinions, the Cage and Aquarium Studio can do a really good job of that. So please let us know. Cake cutting song, again, a lot of couples don't have this as part of their wedding, but the ones who do typically want a song that kind of separates the cake cutting out from what part of the event it's being separated out from. When it comes to this, you can just plop a song in here and we will happily play it and announce the cake cutting. We'll make sure the photographer's in place and all that good stuff. Open dance floor song is kind of something that people put if it's important right off the bat. What we always say is if you're Googling best songs to open a dance floor to, that is not a very good idea, because essentially that song is not important. It's not important because you had to Google it. You really want to give the DJ the permission and the ability to do what you've contracted us to do, which is to take the moment that's happening and play the song that's perfect for that moment. And we do have some experience with that. And oftentimes if somebody specifically wants to script out every single piece of the event, especially once the dance floor gets going, that can be a little bit limiting and can really put the DJ in a position where they can do that, but most of the time it doesn't go quite as well, because you're not really focusing on real-time reaction to what's going on. And so let's say, for example, open dance floor, somebody decides, even though the song's not that important, they really want to open the dance floor with, I don't know, Ain't That Peculiar by Marvin Gaye. Okay, that's a great song, one of his best tracks. But for that moment, it might not be the perfect song to get people up and dancing. We may need something a little more energetic, or maybe people are still eating dessert and we actually want to open the dance floor with a slow song. And those are the types of things that we want to be able to do on the fly. But if you have an important song, by all means, put it in here. Bouquet and garter toss, again, just depending on if these are actual parts of the event, you can put a song in here, or you can put DJ choice. They can take care of that. Last song of the night, if there's something important to you, put it in here. Do you want to end with a bang, with a fast song? Do you want to go slow? Sometimes slow songs work really well here because it sort of signals that the night's over. Oftentimes, if we end with a really big, fast song, which is really fun, sometimes people will want one more song, and a lot of times due to venue limitations, we can't accommodate. So it can kind of be a little awkward at the end of the night if we really are just like completely shut off and they're flicking the lights on and all that good stuff. So sometimes a slow dance is a really good way to wrap the night up, and there will be plenty of dancing time before that final song for sure. And can we take requests from guests? Very simple. Yes, but keep it clean, or no. So just let us know how you want us to handle requests. We do tend to have clean edits of pretty much everything we play, unless you point us in another direction. And even when you point us in another direction, we try to have an honest conversation about, are there going to be kids around? Is it something that might jar, some of the older guests, and is it worth it? So we do like to have open dialogue about this. We understand that that people have strong opinions about this, and we want to be able to accommodate you guys specifically on that. Genre rankings, I'm just going to erase these to kind of show you the process. So let's say, for example, you are interested in 80s music. So you can put 80s music as your number one genre, the genre that you are the most interested in us playing. And here you're kind of thinking about not only what you will dance to, but what your friends and your family will dance to. Genre 2, similar thing. If let's say you're into kind of the newer throwbacks, right? Like the Y2K stuff, still retro, but kind of still in everybody's memory and not too far back. And then maybe genre 3, you know specifically a lot of your family are going to dance to current top 40. And then genre 4, you want to make sure that older guests are not feeling alienated, so you want to do some Motown and classic rock. This really helps the DJs kind of prep and understand sort of it really just gives us a peek into your view of how the guest list is going to work and what they're going to respond best to. If there are things that aren't on that list, then they go in this field. So, some people will put Bollywood here or something of that nature. By all means, definitely let us know. If the type of music you want played for dancing isn't in the dropdown, then you can just put it right here. Reception songs must play. So again, these are the songs that you are indicating are the most important songs that we get to. So whenever people give us a list of 50 must plays, that's not super helpful because it doesn't really prioritize how we should do the night. Typically, people will keep this list to about 5 to 10 songs. The other, and just to reiterate, must plays should come to mind pretty quickly. They should be really important songs to you guys. If you're digging for must plays, if you're Googling, best songs to play at a wedding dance floor, then again, you're kind of missing the point on this particular one because you really want the DJ to have freedom to respond and react and all that good stuff. And if you give them a giant list of must plays, they're going to feel really obligated to work through that list. And sometimes that list isn't working the way we thought it was. So it's nice to have a way that we can kind of move through the event with 5 to 10 really important songs accompanied by a bunch of tracks that are influenced by a lot of the decisions that you guys have already made. So it is a collaborative process. The must play list is something that we kind of put out there as 5 to 10 tracks. If you can stick to that, great. If not, feel free to put a bunch of tracks on here and we can make it happen. But we always just, honestly caution people about what that might mean as we get going. The reception songs do not play. Feel free to put as many songs on here as you want. Definitely things that just kind of stick in your craw and aren't exactly your favorite things to hear. Put on here. A lot of people will put kind of standard wedding stuff on here, like Celebration and the Chicken Dance and YMCA and things of that nature. But if you want to hear those tracks, we can play those too. So just the songs that you're not super into or the songs that would kind of like bother you if we played would go in here. Again, the longer the list, the harder it gets. So if you give us a list of 200 songs and we have to cross-reference that every single time we make a switch, we may or may not be able to actually pull off a full do not play. One might slip through the cracks or two. So definitely keep these at priority as well without giving us, a giant list of music that you want us to stay away from. Cultural and demographic considerations. This is pretty obvious. If there are mixed cultures that we need to be considering as we set up for the wedding, then by all means, plop those in here. We'd love to know what kind of music we can prep in order to make everybody feel welcome and not alienated from the event. Overall atmosphere, this is sort of where people will put, a lot of times people will put, we feel everybody's going to be dancing, and that's just kind of how our family and friends are. And then some people will say, we're not big dancers, so this is the vibe that we're going for. This spot is really where you convey kind of overall atmosphere to us. It's a good piece of information for the DJ to have. Ending announcements, this is, if shuttles are coming or if there's anything else special that we need to say, maybe there's an after party or something of that nature, that can be put here. Reception notes, anything else that we need to know to bring all of this together. And then finally, music survey comments. This one is required, and really we require it because we really like to know what your thoughts are once completed. Anything else we need to know about the event. So it really just gives you an opportunity to say, hey, nope, this looks good to go, or actually I had a question about such and such, and then we can answer that accordingly. So once you have that information, you just hit submit, And then the document actually goes into a database and it gets funneled out in a couple of different directions so that we have all of this information in the place that it needs to be. Hopefully that's helpful. And again, I can't emphasize enough that the 1 month deadline is really important. Really, we don't release the DJ schedule until this is filled out. And so because of that, you're going to want to get it filled out at the 1 month mark for sure. If you have questions about that, please let us know. Or if you need help, happy to jump on a call, happy to answer any emails about what it is that you would need to get across the finish line in terms of getting this off the checklist. So hit submit and you will be good to go. And thank you so much for checking out the video on how to fill out our music survey. Have a great one. Talk soon.